one of maybe a handful of matches that you had with yours truly in WEW, and
Yeah.
we have it. And
Yay!
if it's okay with you, I'd like to pull it up and we could do a little commentating.
I would love to do this.
Would
Can
you
I
like to
tell
do
you,
a watch
Franny, I
along?
get asked about this match
A lot.
monthly. Not monthly, not yearly. I get asked about it all the time. And I do always say this was my first ever real one-on-one match
Okay.
on pay-per-view. And I remember telling you that because you were, oh my God, people that are watching at home, Franny was so beyond like, I don't say motherly, but just, you were just so nurturing and just so, we'll do this together. And you wanted to make it a great thing. And you were so lovely with me. And I said to you, I was like, I've never had a one-on-one match. I probably had I definitely by then had like cat fights and maybe a mixed tag, but this is a totally different animal to go head to head, one-on-one in a match that's live on pay-per-view. So that will explain my lack of skill and
No, first of all, I feel like we get asked about this a lot because we're barefoot.
yeah.
I think
Which, you know what, for those watching, you like what you like. I ain't here to judge.
no, not at all. I always
Feet are
say,
pretty tame. Now, when you get into some other weird stuff, which I'm sure you've been requested as well,
oh,
Francine,
well,
feet are nothing compared to what we get asked
I
for,
say
okay?
that all this. I'm like, out of all the fetishes, the feet are just now I don't understand it because like my feet, ugh, I think they're atrocious, but Wiki Feet says different. I got like a 9.5 rating on Wiki Feet.
You
Like,
know
oh,
what?
okay.
I think you should be proud. I think it should be in your resume going forward.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll update that and I'll add my foot.
Good
But
for you.
yeah, but I remember Dan Kowal coming to me and he's like, "Okay, you and I you started as like my assistant."
Yes.
So we did, and I wish I had that other promo, but this girl is so good at improv. We did the promo where we were at this arena, but it was like a busy four lane street. And I said to Dan, wouldn't it be funny if like we start to walk across the street, but I make Val carry all my bags and she starts to stop all the traffic.
Yeah.
I did not expect her to run in the middle of the street on like 4 lanes of oncoming traffic. This girl is going, "Stop, stop." And she's got my bag. She puts the bag
Don't
down.
you know who she is? Come on. This is the
Funny.
Queen of Extreme. This is Francine. Hold up. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're in a rush for, can't be more important than Francine.
That was the best.
Awesome.
I love that promo to this day. I if I think about it, I laugh my ass off. But he said, with the build up, we were friends, we were rivals, we were friends, we were rivals. This was to be you had did you at this point take my position and I was trying to get it back?
I think I was sort of getting too big for my britches, as my grandmother would say. And I think,
Okay.
so first of all, that storyline, if I can, expound upon that, was so fun for me because it's like, it's not that far off because I'm sitting here marking out and fangirling over Francine, but it was so much fun. That's why I love wrestling. I love the acting, the improv. And it was so much fun to just fangirl and just, be such a, whatever you need kind of a thing. And with the bags and I was just so in awe, which again was not that off. That was so much fun for me. And this, I want to say, and everyone that's watching, please chime in or tweet us later, whatever. But I think this was sort of like the power was starting to shift that I was getting, as it happens in these sort of storylines. I was getting a little too much like, oh, well, maybe I'm on her level now, and trying to like take control of the company. So it's really an all about Eve situation, if I can be an old school Hollywood fan for a second,
Sure
right?
can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I was the general manager, and then
Yeah.
I lost. I don't know how my title was taken from me, and then you became the general manager, and this match was kind of to see who was going to get the position.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we had to be barefoot. It's like one of the stipulations was we had to be barefoot.
I have no idea. And, we've had so many funny conversations. We had it on GAW TV when Francine was on, which is such a great episode. Honestly, it's hilarious. And we've talked about it other times because, Mickey was a part of, promotions like that, Lisa too, where, the sexuality of it, not to be deviant about it. Like in WW had their own kind of like, things are a little more adult than we would have cared for. But again, no judgment. It's fine. But for me, I think they wanted to add that kind of like sexy element of the barefoot stuff. But again, I mean, first of all, was it safer? Probably not. We could have lost a toe, and there's pedicures ruined. But we did our best.
Yeah, we did. And one of the best things that is left out of this as well is your promo with Brian McCarthy in the back. And I swear you were 19 at the time, so still very young
Yeah.
to be in this cesspool of disgustingness. And Brian goes as far, and I'm watching in horror because I literally wanted to jump in and tell him, get your hands off of her. Like, I was legit hot. He's, examining Val's feet and telling her how lovely she is and rubbing her leg. And the poor girl, like, she's just playing along. But inside, I'm like, she's got to be freaking out because I would have been.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because honestly, and listen, I am, I'm such a feminist. I'm such a girl's girl, which is funny because I have so many guy friends in wrestling, but truthfully, I am a girl's girl through and through. And I always say with things like that, like, I'm a huge proponent of the Divas era. I'm a cheerleader for the Divas. No offense, not the serious wrestlers. I'm more of a Tori Stacy, Candice kind of an era. And that was a little extreme, pun intended, but I will say that, but during it, I swear to goodness, and this is just me being super truthful, because I think people look back and go, oh God, were you uncomfortable? And like you just said, and I honestly, even back then, of course, at 36, almost 37 years old now, I would have gone, no, if I'm uncomfortable. But even then, if I was uncomfortable, I genuinely wouldn't have done it. I did not feel uncomfortable. The guy was a gem. He was so funny. He was so nice.
It was funny, but you didn't know ahead of time how touchy he was going to be.
No, but again, and I'm being super, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I honestly was just like, it was funny to me in the sense it was just like, I know that this is sort of a foot fetishy kind of a thing. And I was fine with it. I really was. It was never a thing. Even Dan Cow, he was always lovely to me.
Yeah.
And if you look back, especially my age, it looks kind of weird, but truthfully, I just kind of thought I was in character. And it was like, yes, it's a foot match. This guy's a weirdo. But I think he was portraying a weirdo. So it was like, whatever.
It was perfect. And you did not look uncomfortable at all. I was uncomfortable. And I was literally getting ready to jump in and say, would you get your hands off her, you big creep? Because
and me,
I'm going to move ahead a little bit. I'm going to let it play.
I would have been like, no. But I wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So you didn't start from the beginning.
Well, I'm going to let it. It's 20. You guys got 23 minutes. I'm going to let the whole thing play.
This is the finish. You didn't show anything. I want people to see Val's stuff.
There we go.
Here we go.
Look how young she is, though. And tell me that doesn't look like a dad trying to pick up a young, lovely. Oh, my God. Look at him. Oh, God.
But I got to tell you, I was like, all I'm looking at is I'm going like, okay, that's weird. The kissing's weird.
Yeah, that's
but I loved my outfit, and I just thought I was in character. I thought, this guy's a weirdo, and that's what I'm dealing with. It's like, if you did a movie about a foot weirdo, would you do it? Yeah.
Yeah,
but theater to me.
As long as people are up front and say, I'm going to do this, I roll with it. But when you don't know what's going, I mean, look, your legs up in the air. It's like, Brian, calm down a little bit. $5 super chat from our fabulous friend Lon. Hi, fabulous Francine, SoCal Val, Chad. Question for you, Val. What was your all-time favorite X Division moment you witnessed in TNA or Impact?
Oh my gosh, Lon, thank you so much, sweetheart. I will tell you that I don't know if it's my favorite X Division moment, but I remember when the guys when they would build the X, and during the run throughs and stuff, people would be trying to, like, a guy would come over and just by himself, like, try to just do moves on it, and I would just sit there before the show and go, what are you doing? Like, stop. It just freaked me out because it wasn't match time. The Ultimate X matches were really amazing, but if you were ever at these shows, sometimes they would pan to me, hopefully not too much, but I am such a crier. I'm such a worrier that I really, really shed a lot of tears because those X Division matches were so, so, so dangerous. People that stick out to me, for example, Chris Sabin's a huge one that I remember doing some amazing moves on the Ultimate X. But yeah, Ultimate X is something that I will never forget because I don't think anything's been done like it ever since then. Thank you for the question, Lon.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just panned on your feet, and your feet look really cute.
Well, thanks. I grew them myself. Also, they're real.
They're real. Okay, good to know.
Now, I've had no work done on my feet yet.
My feet, I dirtied on purpose.
So an ODB. Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I scuffed them up in the back just to, just to be a little on the dirty side.
Franny, your body is insane.
Look at me now, babe.
It's still insane. And I remember first seeing you and being like, You know why? Because you looked different from the other girls. You were never like super jacked, which
No,
not sounding rude. You know, I love all aesthetics of women's bodies. They're all beautiful. But I liked that. I loved your look. I just thought it was such a 90s supermodel look, but with bigger, more ample bosom, which I wanted. So yeah.
Thank you.
Look, I'm taunting you and I'm pointing to my feet. Oh, how hilarious.
There you go. Tony LaRusso, $5 super chat. Paying my respects to the one and only queen of extreme, Francine. Thank you, Tony. And the absolutely wonderful SoCal Val. Thanks, Tony. Aww. You're in the Charles chip jar as well. Yeah, Val, thank you. I used to eat abundantly back then and couldn't gain an ounce. And now I look at a grape and I gain 20 pounds. So
I know.
That's the way of the world. But you know,
it's how it works.
It is how it works. But this match was written on an airplane the week before. I wrote it down. And we went the night before to the arena, you and I. Yep. And I think we were there for about 2 hours and we just walked through it like, I don't know, 25 times maybe.
Do you remember that? And I said this for some reason, somebody asked me about actually wrestling. And I was like, first of all, I didn't enjoy it. I'm not a physical, you think of someone's background. I'm not a physical athletic person. I was homeschooled, never did PE, barely PE, never did like sports. I have an abhorrence to it. I don't like it. I bruise like a peach.
True.
And I did tell you that I could not for the effing life of me ever take a DDT, even in Ring Divas and things that I did, without hitting my head. And I very often in matches, I would cry. I'm a crier. I would get hurt. And not because I'm so hurt. I don't know. I'm a very sensitive person. And especially when I would hit my head, I would just cry.
Mickey D says, I refuse to believe Val doesn't wrestle. Love you.
Mickey D all the way in Australia. Aussie. Oi.
Yeah. Well, Mickey D, look, she's wrestling right here. And look how wonderful she's doing.
I'm trying. That was okay, right? Look at that.
This was not bad. This was not a bad match. I really don't think it is.
Franny, thanks to you. It wasn't a bad match.
No, baby.
I am learning.
Wonderful.
This is like Rocky training, I don't know, that Tommy Gunn horrible kid in Rocky 5. Like that's what that is. That's what you're watching right now.
You took to this very quickly. I've said that so many times. Look, we're not, this isn't Malenko and Guerrero. I'll be the first to admit it. But this wasn't bad for what it was. We were expanding a story. You know what I mean?
And that's why I had fun with it, because it was a story.
It was a part of the storyline. Yeah. Oh, and then we had the smoke come down and ODB come down. And it was perfect. It was fun.
And listen, all that thick ass hair of mine really helps in selling moves. I will say that.
Your hair was beautiful. And I didn't bother doing mine that evening. So there you go.
So good.
Oh, that's the Bronco.
Everyone's favorite move.
Yeah, there we go. Now you need to realize that hold on, the PWO is approaching.
Right.
Everybody stop. The PWO is here. They never had the same women in the PWO every month. It varied.
Is that Bobcat?
Yes, it's Cindy.
Oh my God, what a sweetie pie. I loved her.
I just talked to her.
Can you tell her I love her so much? She was, oh my God. And let me tell you, my tenure in WEW, all women, and I'm telling you, I cannot remember one moment where someone was rude to me or condescending, honestly. And I have moments of that in other companies. WEW, never. It was such a sisterhood and being such a girl's girl again. I mean, everyone was such fun and took such great care of each other.
Yeah, no arguments. It was just a party. It was just a party. And I think you and I just roomed together once. Yeah. I remember you and I roomed together one time, but I don't know if that's because I don't know.
Sorry. It's so funny for me to see myself. I can't. Yeah. And I'm actually kind of proud here, but it's so weird for me to see myself not an athletic person, like literally look at me and like literally do things. Like I was taking you and I kind of went like this, like, come on. Like that's just not in my nature. It's just not
you
me.
Get fired up. I'm telling you.
Tori Wilson always said that because I'm such a mark for her. She always said like, even Stacy, she said, would get like more into the punches and get like aggressive. And Tori was just like, I feel bad. She never had a bone in her body that felt right about it. Aww. I really related to that. I mean, not entirely, but like very much more so to the Tori side.
Yeah, but that's where the acting ability comes in. And you just can't tell. Look at you. You can't tell.
Oh, and a stunner.
What
am I doing?
You're kicking the shit out of me is what you're doing.
Oh my God. I don't know if my husband's ever seen this, but I would love him to, because he would be effing
Where
shocked.
is he?
Hang on, ref distraction.
That's right. The smoke, that lousy. You know he does cosplay now. He's a
No.
cosplayer. Yeah, he goes
He was a
around.
sweetie
Well,
pie.
the last time I saw him, he was this big monster at a convention that I was at.
No way.
He starts talking to me, and he's like, you know who I am. And then when he showed me, I was like, it's Smoke. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I would have died.
Yeah. He's
What
great.
a celebrity cameo that would have been.
Tell me about it. But now you're going to the top.
Ooh,
And I'm calling for it because I'm
top.
just doing what I think is correct.
Look at her. Amazing.
I can't even believe myself. What am I
Is
doing?
this it? Is this it? Look at that butt. Ooh. Oh no.
Oh, come on.
See, Jen,
Jessica, Louise. I can't.
I'm telling you. This is great. Absolutely great.
I am still. Oh, I remember this.
I said,
Franny,
do you remember what I told you?
For doing this.
Yeah. Do you remember what I said, Val? Put those hands up.
Yes, ma'am. You
Block
sure
the
did.
beautiful face and put those hands up.
And I remember people were like, "You took a chair shot to the face," and I'm like, "I did."
She did.
That's a badge of honor, thanks to you, Miss Francine.
It's great. You didn't complain. This is not bad. Chad, do you think this was bad for somebody who never wrestled a day in their life?
Ever?
No,
never.
I think when people hear the match, they think they're just going to see, the spectacle, and they're going to hear the gimmick, and you get the wrestling. And I don't think they expect that.
You were dead weight on that, by the way.
Yeah, I believe you. It looked like I was dead weight.
That was a little.
I think, Franny, do you agree that I think because it was barefoot in a weird way, well, in an obvious way, it took away from the fact that it was a one-on-one match. That people know this match, but all they know is, I'm going to look up the barefoot match. They don't actually think of it as being a match. And now that I'm watching it back, I'm even more proud of us than I remembered.
It had moves. I mean, we wrestled. It was wrestling. It wasn't, I don't think it could be considered like a bra and panty match or a fluff match. There was wrestling involved. And that's why I'm so proud of you, because you didn't have a lot of experience, and just going over it a couple times the night before, you did great.
Oh my God. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. And honestly, it was fun. I'm very proud of this match. And again, people bring it up to me all the time. And I think it's because of the barefoot, which is fine. And again, if you like what you like, I'm not here to judge. Good for you. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment of the feet. Thank you. But like you said, the athleticism that we tried to portray and the story that we tried to tell, I think we did a great job. And I'm so proud of us, honestly.
Hey there, it is the Queen of Extreme, Francine from ECW. Do you want to see more of me? Click over here to watch another video, or click over here to listen to my podcast. And as always, thank you for your support.